Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Thursday, 6th of March, 2025. So the synoptic situation, and this is as of midnight last night. The high pressure I spoke about yesterday over Europe is still managing to hold the frontal systems away from us. Wind's going around more to the southerly now. If I run this through to midday today, you can see we've pretty well got a south-southeast, south, southerly flow, and it's just holding off these frontal systems. And we are going to be affected by a little bit of high cloud ahead of this frontal system a little bit later on, maybe later on this afternoon. But we're left in a pretty well stiff southerly flow for the area. And you can see the cloud associated with the frontal systems, and also how much of an influence that high pressure has got over Europe. They're having a very nice few days there, and we got a little bit of cloud coming in off the down the southwest, which is coming our way slowly. I don't think it's going to be necessarily an issue for our flying day. No rain at all for the next 2 hours on that forecast. And if I run through the predicted rain forecast from the Met Office, we're pretty well clear all day. All the rain is associated with that cold front that's slowly making its way this way. And I think this sort of cloud here is maybe the advancing stuff that's going to just give us a bit of top cover at the end of our day. So the Met Office forecast then for Odium, their TAF is 160, 10 knots, cav OK, 40% probability between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, 6,000 meters in haze. Well, it is a bit hazy out there, but it's probably at least 6K at the moment. And if I run that through to Farnborough, check we haven't got a later one. Yes, we have. They are talking between 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock today, 1406 knots, cab OK, 30% probability, temporarily between 9 and 10, 8,000 meters. Spot winds are giving us winds between 170 and 190, 20 to 30 knots. And windy is giving us winds of 7 knots on the surface due south. Local forecast is again giving us a southerly wind, nice and clear, a little bit of cumulus, perhaps after about 1 o'clock, which would be nice. And but due south wind, and notice the gusts here. I've highlighted the gusts, maybe even up to 25 knots in the middle of the day. GFS is giving us a max temperature today of about 13 degrees with a dew point down at 7, and the view outside the window is nice, stiffening breeze straight down 1.6. So the actual temperature at the moment is 9.5, the dew point down at 5.7, and a southeasterly wind gusting 10 at the moment. Top Meteo, they are giving us, if I run this through, blue up until around about 11 o'clock perhaps, and maybe a little bit of Q, a little bit over development on the south coast by looks, a bit of Q here. I run that through more, and talking about possible thermals inland to about 3,000 feet. Interestingly, so this is at 1 o'clock today. They've actually got a little bit of rain and some overcast down here, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. Sky sight is not indicating anything significant until around about 2:30, and then that's only going to be a bit of top cover coming in. Very, very weak thermal, if anything, but otherwise a nice blue day with the wind 160, 180 thereabouts, and gusting 20, even they're giving the gusts as well. And there's a sky sight cross section. A little bit of a window in the middle, 1.2 knots there, mass. I think I might just about get some glider just airborne a bit. And this top cover starting to come in a little bit later. No TAMS then. The 16 is the RATs for UAS only, Okanga, surface to 2,600. 19 is flare firing at Rushmore, surface to 1,500 feet. 22 in the middle of this lot is D132, Ash Rangers are active today to 850 feet. 23 is flare firing at Aldershot from 6 p.m. this evening. And 24 and 25 are flare firing at Camberley. one starting at 6 o'clock this evening, one starting at 4 o'clock this evening, up to 1,300 feet. So look at the airfield setup for today then. There's the cross section from Odium, 17012, thereabouts a wind, few clouds, if any. Maybe getting a little bit of Q around about 2,500 foot by about 1 o'clock today. And then you can see this top cover starting to wend its way in. No warnings. We do have a A321 departure at 4 o'clock local today. Fresh southeast breeze today, Q possible late morning, possible thermals this afternoon to 3,000 feet. Top cover increasing late afternoon. Grass is drying out nicely. Even my puddle down the end has now disappeared, but still be careful, please, with any wheel brake use. We have three K21s on the booking system with instructors and students. K21 booked by club members, K21 for a casual list, and a K13 booked for trial lessons all day, please. All remaining two-seaters are free. And SH8 and SH9 are the only single seaters booked. Interestingly, one is in the morning, one is in the afternoon. So maybe the two pilots ought to just share that one glider, unless other people want to fly them outside of their allocated slots. We're going to set up on runway 16, take off on the runway, land east and west side. Wind should be to the east using the boom. Watch out for misting canopies, especially later on today. Sunset is 5 minutes to 6 local. Remind about the buggies and the simulator. So the runway setup, absolutely standard 16. When the jet goes this afternoon, it'll be going on 09. Launch point set up, a usual place. I'll set that up now. Winch in the usual place with the boom down the side. And we've got the usual restrictions about landing on or crossing over the disused runways in the cross-section area. Please, it's just damaging tyres. And in some cases, ripping the main wheels out of the K21s even. Okay, I do have a motor glider flight I've got to do early on as well with Bob Johnson. Any help out there will be appreciated. I'll certainly get out and get things moving before I jump into the motor glider for a quick flight. And I'll see you out there shortly. Bye.